Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into the Kars Mitra Loan App. It's a service in Pakistan promising quick personal loans up to 50,000 rupees with almost no paperwork. Our mission really is to figure out for you if this is a helpful financial tool or maybe more of a trap. And the surprising thing right off the bat, it looks kind of legit. It's actually registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, the SECP. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, that's what's fascinating, right? Because even an app that's, verified or registered like this one can still carry some pretty significant risks.
Just so everyone's clear, the SECP is Pakistan's main financial regulator. Think SEC in the U.S., basically. Kars Mitra gets this status, often by registering as a non-banking finance company, an NBFC. So they have the paperwork. But, and this is the key thing, that official registration doesn't automatically mean it's safe or, frankly, ethical in how it operates. Right. And that's the core tension here, isn't it? The difference between having that regulatory stamp and being a genuinely safe service for the user. So if they've got the SECP's okay, why are there still these big risks for someone downloading the app? Why doesn't that compliance fix the problem?
Well, you really have to look beyond the certificate, look at the actual user experience, the terms people are agreeing to. Our source material points to three main problem areas where that compliance seems to fall short. First, there's just intense financial pressure. These aren't your typical consumer loans. We're talking about really high interest rates, combined with very, very strict short repayment deadlines. It's less like a normal loan and maybe more like, renting cash for a week at a completely unsustainable price.
Okay, so the money itself is instantly expensive. But that second point you mentioned, the collection tactics, that sounds much more aggressive than you'd expect from a registered company. Does the source give specifics? Like, how are these agents actually applying pressure?
Oh, absolutely. This is where the, let's say, appearance of compliance really seems to break down. The source says agents often skip standard legal collection methods. They go straight for intimidation. Think aggressive phone calls, harassment. It's not just reminders. They apparently move pretty quickly to threatening to tell your employer, or maybe even worse in some communities, telling your family. So a money problem suddenly becomes a huge social issue too.
Wow, that's brutal. Aggressive collections, sky-high rates. And then the third point you mentioned, which sounds maybe the most worrying, privacy invasion. What exactly does the app want access to? Saying too many permissions is a bit vague. What's the real risk there?
That's right. Too many barely scratches the surface, honestly. When you install it, the app routinely asks for really deep access to your phone's data. We're talking contacts, your location data, photo gallery, sometimes even reading your text messaging.
And why? Why do they need all that?
Well, that's the disturbing part, that data. It's the ammunition for the collectors. If you fall behind on payments, they use your contacts list, maybe your location, to carry out those aggressive tactics we just talked about.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Okay. So putting it all together, despite these huge privacy issues and the aggressive collections, the app technically works. You get the money quickly. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, if you're maybe considering this kind of service, balancing that speed against the danger?
Well, the standard advice always applies, of course. Read the terms, don't borrow more than you can handle. Yeah. But given the specific risks here, especially the data part, the advice needs to be a bit sharper. Focus on data isolation. If you absolutely must use something like this for emergency cash, maybe think about denying permissions where you can. Or ideally, using a different phone, like a burner phone that doesn't have all your personal data on it. Look, Kars Mitra is registered, and it does function. But it is definitely not risk-free. You have to be really careful.
Right. So to quickly recap our deep dive, Kars Mitra is technically SECP registered. It delivers instant cash. But user reports make it clear you need extreme caution. You're looking at potentially very high costs and serious privacy demands that seem linked to aggressive collection methods.
Yeah, and if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This whole situation really highlights a critical modern problem. It's this tension between providing instant financial access, often to people who really need it, and protecting your personal data, which you need for your own safety, both socially and financially.
Exactly. And that leaves us with a final thought for you to consider, something the sources bring up implicitly. How much of your privacy is specifically giving apps deep access to your phone and your life? How much are you actually willing to trade for the convenience of getting a loan instantly?